What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is the next installment in which of these, I said, should you take blank to 6-star gold? That's been a long time ago, y'all. And I said y'all, which is not a word I normally use. But it's Seth Rollins, and not a character I really like in real life, but in game, there's some pretty good Seth Rollinses this is. So if you have an any Seth Rollins requirement, who should you use? Well, that's the question we're going to answer here. We use a red light, yellow light, green light system. Pretty self-explanatory. And let's get straight into our red lights. Usually C tier, when you see it, is a pretty good indication that they're a red light. But, you know, the reasons why. He does have some lower charge moves. They're multiply gems as well. Lower for a C tier anyway, an older character. But they're all strength 2. You're making multi-gems of strength 2. You have also got a finisher that's bonus damage for every multi-gem. But you're not making that many of them. You got destroy random multi-gems, which is great, but again, they're times 2. You could see how he was a good character at one point. Let me just put it that way, right? Destroy 5 random blue gems. That used to be a big deal. Think back to the days when destroying 5 random blue gems was enough to end a match. Red light, don't use NXT Seth. Another C tier and also not great as a fighter is your icon Seth. He's not meant to be a fighter. What he's meant to be is this right here. He's a promoter, and this is his ability. 250% notoriety for showdown battles. So you absolutely need to get him to 21k as soon as possible. That is vital. But as a fighter, one, you don't have enough of the IOW tokens to take them up super high usually. I mean, even if you get them every day, it takes forever. 2, 12 MP, make 17 gems into botch, not that much. 5 black gems swap to yellow, 5 gems into freeze gems. I forget that those exist. Those are fun. Turnbuckle powerbomb makes botch gems purple. You've got steal 6 of your opponent's purple MP. You got a sub. Yeah, it's just not really going to do the damage you need in even the previous meta, let alone the current meta. So, red light. Also a red light, the Architect Seth Rollins. There was a day, some of you will remember this, where you had to use this Seth Rollins on a match on the road to clear it, and it was nearly dang impossible. I remember taking my Seth Rollins all the way to like 5-star silver or something like that back in the day just to try to clear that node, and it was a pain. Anyway, bleed damage, and it's actually not terrible. 500k bleed damage. So if you get all the bleed trainers on him, you could win right there, right? 13 MP finisher that does nothing. Just pin the opponent. But it doesn't even say you're going to. It says try to pin the opponents. You may or you may not. Right? No, you will, but you may not win. Dodging Inseguri, destroy 7 random black gems. This is where this Seth Rollins comes in. So, a couple things. He's got a 1 MP move that allows you to make black gems. That's for Gemmania if you need it, but really they've kind of moved beyond where these guys are anyway. So what you really, really might use this guy for is his hot tag. Now, this is not a hot tag in the new sense. This is one where if you put him in spot 1, you give him Woods. So he has 5 black MP. You can then immediately tag over to someone else. That would be useful with your female roster. Like if you put him in, then tag over to your female. But with the new hot tag system, the reason he's a red light and not a yellow light, because there are conditional moves you could use him for, is because with the new hot tag system, these are actually becoming antiquated as it is. But that's where I'd use him. If it was a male-female showdown and I needed to get to the female quickly, I could put him in and that would get the job done. But otherwise, he really doesn't have a use. Also a red light is this guy right here, the Fiend. Oh no, that's not the Fiend. It's the Undisputed Fiend. I still don't know why they did that. Bray Wyatt existed when they had this. Why would they call him the Fiend? I don't know. Anyways, this guy is your countdown king. Two random gems into countdown that will spawn 4 copies of itself. Unfortunately, they don't really do a lot of damage or follow up with anything else. They just make copies of themselves. Now, you make 23 countdown gems into black, but again, damage per countdown gem is not huge. Black gems, it's a 10 MP green. How do you get there? You don't. You've got to force your opponent to skip their turn, which is great, but if this was 4 MP as well, and this was like 5-6 MP, this would be good. But yeah, make 2 turn countdowns that were heal, bonus damage for every countdown gem. So if you do triple black, you can do something, but again, the bonus damage is almost non-existent. If there was another 2 zeros, maybe even just 1, he'd be slightly relevant, but I promise you, he's not. So, not the worst zombie out there, but he's not gonna make anyone's cut. Last red light. I've tried so many different ways to try and make this guy relevant, and he just isn't. This was the original $1,000+ character. This was the one people spent money on left and right to try and get him. Famously, Gerson fell out of his chair whenever he got him. He was once the top guy. He's just not anymore. Again, as always, high MP charge, low damage, 29 random gems purple. That used to be a huge stinking deal. But now, unless you can buff your purple gems a ton, you really can't. The only way you might try him is if you did the Phoenix Splash with the color turn gem Punk Plate, and then maybe make gems into purple. But it's just, even still, it's just not there. It was his primary color. It was a big deal. But how are you going to get an 8 MP blue? Like if this was, again, 4, 5 MP, this was 5 MP, and you did the Punk Plate, and you could do something that would choose gems into blue, so you could run it twice, he might be relevant. But as of now, he is definitely a red light. So let's talk about some yellow lights. There's actually really only, there's 2. There's 2 yellow lights. This guy right here is actually pretty good. You run him triple red. Let's see here. 5 purple gems to swap black. 6 black gems to destroy. And all black gems into multi. And you could do some pretty decent things with this. It's only strength 4. You have to have Sherry, and it's 9 MP to load. 8 MP is the lowest, but it's basically 9 MP to load each of the 3 reds. So you kind of need, Seth, Turtle Seth to go on him, and blah, blah, blah. But, here's the thing. This is where he shines, right? He does have first gear, all color moves get 3 more MP. So now you're talking, okay, you could do Santa Hogan plus your Sting or your Butch or your whoever, and you've got him loaded now with your red moves. So you do have room for Sherry at this point and Turtle Leo. Black gems do 50% more damage. All color moves do 150% more damage. But even having all of these, he's still kind of faded a little bit. And then in feud, he does get really nothing. Just all color gems create 5 more. He's not using sub. We're not using blue. Not using yellow. So yeah, he's kind of left some of it. This is Embrace the Vision, the precursor to the current Seth, right? Where I actually really liked Seth in this mode, and then he got really over the top and demon jokery, just didn't even, he just got weird with it, not in a way I liked. So anyway, but this Seth is a yellow light. You still can use him for some good stuff. You just kind of have to have everything, and he's still not quite super relevant. The other one that I wish was a green, solid green, but is a yellow light, is Mutant Messiah Seth. So again, triple red, or you throw in, choose 7 to go purple if you wanted to do it that way, and then you can kind of go from there. But basically, you're going to need, kind of like we just talked about, you need all the red, right? So you need Roxanne and Sting to get him started loaded turd 1. He does 17 subs for 7 turns, plus increases your red gem damage, and these end up turning into blast gems on there. So really, if you just go with this one, you can do a 7x4 area, or sorry, a 4x4 area to destroy. You can do this one, which does random blast gems. You can do the 7 blast gems, and it won't just move the pin bar. This one is actually pretty fun if you throw it up in there as well. But again, you just have to luck into some yellow gems, blah, blah, blah. So the Bite Man's Battle Armor. That plate is really good on him. It adds 200% to all your red gem damage. You've also got, the ones where you could like flood the board with red gems if you break enough of them. He does have some ways. He will win, and he will win very well. It's just really slow for the current meta. But yeah, I love this Seth. For as much as I don't like Seth in real life, this is like probably my favorite character they've ever done in Champions. He's been one of my favorites forever. Love the design. I love the move animations. Just everything about it. I love that character. But he needs a little bit of love. Like, they need to do a new mutant event and have like a moment or a plate or something that goes to him to bring him back, because he's super good. He's super good. Green lights. So Seth has some, not only green lights, he has some green lights. Be sure and watch our 3-minute moveset and breakdown video on him, but he can easily hit 100 million. He does have the Dusty Rhodes gear that you can put on him, which I do like. So instead of the like Chris Angel look, you've got the Chris Angel kind of ran into My Name is Earl and dressed up like Dusty Rhodes, but all your gems do 100% more damage. So that's cool. That's nice. He can also run triple purple with like the Punk's gauntlets on him. He's got some good setups. This is the one that I preferred. It's the multi-gem build with countdown. You throw down the multi-gems, you make a 5 match, or I'm sorry, a swipe into 5, and then you make all the 34 multiply gems black. That works nice. This also will work with the Haku plate, which I think is pretty cool. To make all your gems do 200% more damage, which is awesome, right? Yeah, you can also do triple purple with the Punk plates, and you'll work that out very well also. So he's very versatile. I probably am actually going to start running mine triple purple, because I think I have a spare Punk gauntlet. Whereas the multi-gems, again, it's always like, I don't have the right trainers, enough trainers of them, I should say. Like, they're all maxed out on other people. Whereas color turn is pretty much Devon or Liv for me. So I think I'm actually going to swap to this possibly here in a few hours. I'm waiting for my plate currency to refill. But either way, definite green light. He is very, very good. And if you have the moment, blue gems 50% more damage, multiply increase their strength by 3, and 50% less from all colors. So 2 good ways to run him, both very dominant builds. Then we go from one new gen Acrobat Seth to a second new gen Acrobat Seth. Now this one's the rarest of them. If you have him, his coaching ability is absolutely one of the best in the game. Multiply gems increase their strength by 3. As I said, multi-gem users are just so needed. You could pretty much put him on everybody in the game, it feels like. So it'd be great to have a strap on him. However, affiliation strap. However, he's a really good fighter as well. I use this setup right here or the cross break setup, and both do great. I actually use the cross break 3x3 plus bonus damage for every cross break. Use your maximum cross break trainers, and it does the job. This one's also fun, where you cross the board this way, you cross the board that way, and your power gems do the work. So you're triggering your power gems twice with the finisher. Both of these are very good. I personally use the cross break build for my own one. But yeah, that's it. You do those, and then you do the finisher and choose not that. Then make cross break Grim Machine. Oh yeah. So it's just these two moves back to back, pretty much, on that I use. But anyway, he's very good. He's just very rare. Very rare. I hope they do another Turtles event. I've said it multiple times in the last month. I hope there's TMNT 3 where they go back and do the cowboy hat thing in ancient feudal Japan and all that, like the movie, which was terrible. But also, there's the Turtles moment. Power gems will do 100% more. Subs do 200%. Crossbreak do 75%. That's big on him. Green gems do 50%. That's big on him. And receive 50% less damage from all colors. See, we need Becky Lynch right here as April O'Neil. And then Sheamus as whichever one he was. Rocksteady, I think. No, Bebop. Sheamus was Bebop. That's what we need. We need those two at least added on. And also a chance to get Cody Jones in everybody's roster, because right now he's on like 5 people's roster. So that sucks. Anyways, so green lights. So we got green light here, and both of those green lights are strong green lights. Then we come to Seth Freakin Rollins. When he came out, he would have been an absolute green light. Then I would have moved him down to a yellow light, because his power over the course of the meta went down. It stayed the same, but the meta went up and he didn't. However, they have now introduced several things for him. So triple red is how you're going to run him. That is his best move set. And now you've got these two moments, which are both super, super powerful, super good, right? 50% less damage from all color gems. Red gems do 75%. All gems do 50%. So that's a 125% boost right there. Then this one gives you another all color gems do 100% more damage. Plus, I don't have it on my account, and apparently I don't have it on my candy store account here either. But there's also the story finished moment, which works in faction feud and does 200% more to reinforce gems. And he's making the entire, almost the entire board reinforce, buffing your red gem damage, and then turning around and making all the gems red. So you're basically getting to pop twice, plus if you go on the plates, there's now the red reinforce or the rainbow reinforce plate that goes on there. The Bulldogs bracers, you just have stacked on stacked on stacked damage. I know I used him this feud because he was required, and he was super easy to win with. It's just 3 clicks. Life's done. They're done, right? So if you have any of those things, this Seth is by far, I shouldn't say by far the best Seth, because this Seth is really good, but this one has Cascade Risk with his multi-gem build, and will hit a little bit less than this Seth, although A tier, S tier, right? This Seth, has much better entourage ability, and I honestly don't think he's going to last too far into whatever metas come. Although if hype is what we do from now on, then he's going to be fine. He's just going to keep growing. But anyway, any of these 3 Seth, this one notably free tier, free tier, this Seth, or even this Seth and this Seth will be fine for whatever you've got to do with them. Just ignore this whole middle row and the guy right here. That's it, right? But yeah, this Seth, if you've got Seth Freakin Rollins, he is absolutely phenomenal the more things you get, and you should be just fine to win. But if you don't, you should have the free one right here at least. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Have you found a way to run tough Seth to the moon? Seth to the moon, as Merrick said. Or is he just done as far as we're all concerned, right? Let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to Champions Chat, and send this to your friend or faction mate who needs to know which Seth they can use, because there's a Seth requirement coming up. There always is. He's annoyingly present, and he's just annoying. Anyway, this is just my thoughts. You could argue with me in the comments section. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.